Latrell Sprewell, the man that'll always be known as the guy who tried to take out his head coach. We'll get to that in a minute, but first, Latrell was a much better player than anyone expected him to be. He averaged 24 points a game one season and made the All-Star team 4 times. So before looking at where he is now, we're going to take a quick look at his career and the events that led him up to where he is today. Latrell Sprewell was picked 24th overall by the Golden State Warriors, and he quickly showed them that they made the right choice by picking him when he averaged 15 points a game and started 69 games for his rookie season. During the first 5 years of his career, he'd averaged 21 points a game and made the All-Star game 3 times. But within that time, in 1995, he fought with his teammate before leaving practice and coming back with a 2x4 and threatening to come back again with a gun. And during a practice in 1997, Sprewell's coach PJ Carlissimo yelled at him to put a little mustard on his passes. Latrell then said he wasn't in the mood for criticism and told his coach to keep his distance. When PJ approached him, Latrell threatened to kill him and choked him for 10 seconds before he was pulled off. 20 minutes later, he came back into the practice and punched Carlissimo in the face before being dragged off again. The NBA only suspended him for 10 games for this. That was until the media and fans heard about the suspension. They were so outraged, and that forced the NBA to suspend him for the rest of the season, which was 68 games. And the Warriors terminated his $23 million contract. But Sprewell fought the termination and got it overturned. When he returned to the NBA, he would sign with the Knicks, get fined $250,000 for breaking his hand before training camp, and not telling the Knicks until he showed up to the first day of training camp with a broken hand. The Knicks would make the finals in 2000, and Latrell's performance for that year and the playoffs earned him a 5-year, $62 million contract. He'd make the All-Star game again in 2001 and then be traded to the Timberwolves, and they finished the 2004 season as the #1 seed in the West, before losing to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. In the offseason, the Timberwolves offered Latrell Sprewell a 3-year, $21 million extension. Latrell said that wasn't even enough to feed his family and declined it. The Timberwolves offered him nothing more, and he'd go on the next year to have the worst year of his career. So this was the last time Latrell Sprewell was ever seen on an NBA court. So where is he now? After Sprewell turned down the Timberwolves, nobody decided to sign him. Over the next couple of years, the Mavs, Spurs, and Lakers were interested in him, but he said there's no way he'd return unless the money was right and that he didn't need the money that bad. Over the course of his career, Latrell Sprewell averaged 18 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds a game, but his career was clouded by bad decisions and actions. Sadly, the same can be said about his time after basketball too. In 2006, a 21-year-old woman accused Sprewell of choking her while they were on his yacht, but police said he faced no charges, and he quickly filed a restraining order against her. In 2007, Latrell accidentally drove his yacht onto the shore and refused to call for help to get it removed before a local fishing ship helped him out. Soon after that, his yacht was repossessed because he couldn't afford $1.3 million in payments and insurance on it. After that, the state of Milwaukee came after him for owing $3 million in taxes. And in 2008, the bad news continued because one of his homes in Milwaukee got foreclosed because he couldn't make payments of $2,600 a month on it. And in 2009, he lost his mansion to foreclosure too. In 2016, Latrell was in a Priceline.com commercial making fun of himself by giving life advice to a little girl saying, "Success is just failure that hasn't happened yet." Most recently, he tried to get back into basketball by joining the Big 3 League, but he didn't turn in his medical information in time. Soon after that, a few days after the Charles Oakley situation in the Knicks arena, Knicks owner James Dolan invited Latrell Sprewell to sit next to him for the Knicks game. A lot of people saw this as Dolan trying to make himself look better after what happened, and it's pretty clear that's what he was doing, because the last time they spoke was back after he was traded to the Timberwolves. In his first game back in the Knicks arena, Latrell yelled at him and cussed at Dolan for trading him. But he said when they sat together now, they didn't even talk about it, and he was just happy to be back in an arena that he loved. And he said hopefully Dolan and Oakley can work out their problems soon. As for Latrell Sprewell the player, it's sad to see how great he really was, but how his career ended up. And as for Latrell Sprewell the person, it's even more sad to see that he made over $100 million in his NBA career, and now he's broke and living in a rental home. But if you enjoyed this video and catching up where Latrell Sprewell is now, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and comment who you'd like to see where they are now next.